Take any opinion you may have on Cooler and throw it out of your brain right now. When it comes to the Dragon Ball fandom, Cooler seems to be a controversial figure. Some people think that he's just a boring Frieza clone, some are just kinda in the middle, they don't really care about him, while others think he's cool. Oh my fucking god, we're really making Cooler jokes in 2022. I fell off. So, for the none of you out there who don't know who Cooler is, he's the oldest son of King Cold, and is also Frieza's older brother, which was apparent when I said that he was the oldest son of King Cold, and King Cold only has 2 sons, being Cooler and Frieza, but, you know, whatever. I have a couple things to say about Cooler today, that revolves around his character, and my thoughts towards him, and I'm also gonna have a little cameo appearing later, one of my homies who's a big Cooler fan, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Unlike Frieza, Cooler isn't just an egotistical psychopath. He's just a psychopath. But Cooler doesn't underestimate who he's up against, unlike Frieza always does. Back in Cooler's Revenge, when he blasted Goku out of the sky, he sent his minions to go check if he was alive, while his minions were like, nah, he's dead. A Frieza thing to do there would have been assuming that he was dead, and having a thought process like, yeah, everyone else is so below me, how couldn't that have killed him? And like, that could have come back to bite him later, where Cooler had to make sure that his opponent was dead. He wanted to see the body firsthand. Frieza was always thinking that he is the shit. He played with his food, but Cooler never did that. Frieza was always thinking of himself on a much higher level than his opponents, and Cooler did that too to some extent, but he would always be careful, and Frieza never would, which is a big difference between the two characters. Cooler wouldn't underestimate you and would not stop pursuit of you until he knows you're dead. Cooler's real. He's a real one. Be like Cooler. Cooler also doesn't really seem to care about his brother. He even went as far to say to Goku that if he hadn't killed him, he probably would have done it himself sooner or later, which is a little far, but it's all good. He only wanted revenge on Goku so his family wouldn't look bitch-made and to prove that he's not like his brother or father, something my homie's gonna get into a little bit more later. I like that they didn't go with something more generic, like him wanting to avenge his family for them, like, I've come to avenge my brother, how dare you kill him, but instead, him being way more interested in saving his own reputation and only really caring for personal gain. Okay, maybe that means he's a little egotistical, but he's trying to prove he's the shit. If you could back it up, you can't hate. His final form is sick, and his design is sick, enough said. My homie's about to jump into that, but, you know, he's about to go more in depth with that, but I just gotta mention that he looks fucking cool. Also, he's 6 feet tall, so the homie could probably rack up some bad bitches. I mean, let's look at Frieza's height for a second. He's 5 feet too pathetic, and that's no disrespect to my short kings out there, but I'm just trying to prove that Cool is a real one. But I suppose if Frieza was trying to pull, he could turn into that second form. Homie is 7'5". He's one of the few that could look Yao Ming in the eye. And Cooler walks around 6 foot, like Frieza a little man. He's so insecure about it that in Dragon Ball Super Broly, he wanted to get the Dragon Balls to be taller. He is insecure, and he would never switch down to that second form to get bad bitches, because his power level would be lower, so he wouldn't be happy with himself in that regard. He's no place he could be happy with himself. Cooler's a fucking Shad. Cooler is not insecure. Frieza is. Who's the real one? Who's the better brother? You tell me. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is that he has, quite possibly, the best movie in all of Dragon Ball. I'm talking Dragon Ball Z, Super, that one GT one that's actually kind of fire, that gets a lot of hate. But I actually really like whatever the fuck it was called, Legacy. I don't remember, but it was a real one. But Cooler's Revenge is actually underrated. I've seen it get some hate. I love that movie. It is up there with Wrath of the Dragon and Fusion Reborn for me. It was thoroughly entertaining throughout, no matter what was going on, and there was a bunch of different themes that was happening during the movie. Whether it was the start with the camping trip, giving a fun slice of life feel. I'm a fucking huge fan of slice of life Dragon Ball, by the way, and the Great Saiyaman arc is like one of my favorites. It's so fun. I fucking loved where Gohan went to high school, so maybe I'll make a video about that one day. Who knows? I'm honestly just making stuff that I'm having fun with. But the fights were great too, which I'll get more into later. I love every character getting something to do, like Cooler's minions fighting against like people like Piccolo, or when Gohan went off with Icarus for Senzu beans. By the way, in my script, I spelled Icarus Icorous. That's definitely not right. I love the feel of the chase, and like Cooler and his men trying to track down a wounded Goku and his friends while they're trying to buy time. Just anything like where they're looking for him, hunting their fucking prey and stuff. It's just like a cool and different feel than what we're used to. Dragon Ball around this time period had reached a pretty great ultimatum in its fight scenes. Only recently was it starting to get kind of like all over the place with the larger-than-life attacks and the ki blasts and the flying and the explosions and all that. So there was still like a cool and fun level of creativity with the martial arts. And my favorite fights in Dragon Ball implement both creativity in its fights as well as the larger-than-life feel that the big blasts and flying brings. This is why that outside of the Tournament of Power, I didn't really care much for super fight scenes at all. I think the Tournament of Power nailed it. That was probably because they couldn't fly. But that was definitely where they were most creative, and that was the best part of Super. I love the Tournament of Power. Everything else is just kind of mid. But I feel like this movie had the perfect balance. I enjoyed the scenery changes throughout the battle, the use of the surrounding environment, and the creativity in the brute-like style that Cooler was attacking with. The whole movie had me captivated, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Now sure, Return of Cooler is ass, but we all have our low points, okay? Sometimes when you're a little too goated, a quick humbling is good for you, you know? Getting caught in your own hype is a dangerous, dangerous thing. So shout out to Cooler for the fucking garbage movie that followed the goated one. See, what did I tell you about him not having an ego like his brother? And also, when it comes to the movies, Cooler's Revenge is amazing, while Resurrection F, mid. So bonus points for Cooler. That's really all I gotta say for right now, but as I've mentioned it a couple times throughout this video, I've come with a homie. You may know him, he's been on my channel before. His YouTube channel is Total KO. So the homie Angel, who's the biggest Cooler fan I know, is about to spit why he loves Cooler.
Okay, so the reason why I love Cooler so much, and the rest of the Dragon Ball community should understand why Cooler is so freaking amazing, is Cooler, he's not just a one-dimensional character. Like, Cooler's Revenge is literally the title and his intentions in the movie. He's getting revenge over the person who completely tarnished his family's legacy and their name. Cooler's not just here to, like another Frieza who's just here to kill Saiyans. No, his family's legacy and family name was tarnished because Goku defeated Frieza. Cooler's reason for coming to Earth was because of Goku defeating Frieza and tarnishing his family's name and legacy. They were space pirates. They were dealing with planets. They were conquering worlds. The reason why Cooler comes to Earth is to redeem his family's name. He doesn't even like Frieza. He literally says in the movie, "I would have killed my little brother myself." Cooler is the older brother of Frieza. He is more powerful. He's literally in his name, he is way cooler than Frieza. Not only did he find a way because he trains on his own, not only did he find a way to ascend their birth form, because the form we see Cooler in is his birth form, not only does he ascend it, but it's amazing. It's literally incredible. You can't tell me the first time you saw Cooler's ascended form, you didn't think it was absolutely incredible. Cooler's intentions and his ambition and him as a character is a man on a mission of revenge because his family's legacy and name was tarnished by Goku. He's not all like, I hate Saiyans. The Saiyans are like disgusting monkeys. He's not like Frieza. He's not a cocky, arrogant prick. He literally told his men, I want to see a body. He's not too arrogant in his own power where he believes that he just did the job himself. He's like, no, I want to see a body. I want to see Goku's body. I want to see that Saiyan's body. I want to be confirmed that Saiyan is dead. He's not just one of those villains who, like if Frieza shot Goku in the back, he would be like, oh, I did it. Job well done. And then guess what? That would have came to bite him in the ass. No, Cooler wanted to get the job done, and that's what he did. Cooler's Armored Squadron as well. They're way more better characters than any of Frieza's subjects. Frieza's subjects are ruled by fear. If you rewatch the movie, you can tell that Cooler's Armored Squadron, they respect Cooler because Cooler isn't just a tyrant that kills his men. No, Cooler sees the quality in his men and he treats them with respect. And with that, his men treat him with respect and follow him because they respect Cooler and his power. Yes, there's a little bit of fear in there, but Cooler just doesn't go around killing his men for random reasons. No, Cooler listens to what his men have to say. Cooler's a good leader to his men. He's not like the Frieza Force. You literally die just by looking at Frieza the wrong way. Cooler is a better leader, a better character, and being the big brother of Cooler, he is just all around a better character. And I'm just going to say Cooler's design in his final form and in his ascended form, way better than Frieza's. He is literally cooler than Frieza. That's it.
So at the end of the day, say what you want about Cooler. You could say that he's just a less cool version of his brother, who has a Ginyu Force knockoff for a team, has metal form just like his brother, tried to take over Namek like his brother.